in Africa, yeah, it depends on what I have to focus on, and what I am to change is the education system. When I say education system, it doesn't mean like, oh, how many classes do we have in primary school, how much in secondary, high school, or university, but rather to enhance independent thinking. Because there is one thing, that's my point of view, not based on because I'm coming from Tanzania or from Africa. What you see in social media, what you see in news, what you see in whatever, is a given story from one angle. If I don't have good capacity to process and independently think, I can go into bias or stereotyping and so forth. So what I would enhance, if I have the power, is to help, and that's why also I did my PhD, that when I retire, or I just manage to go back after in my late age, I want to go to the university and teach. That was my clear motivation before starting my PhD, and that's why I did PhD. That I would go to the university and I would teach people how to think independently. Why I'm saying it so is just because if people consume the content without much analysis, that content can either act for good or for bad. If you help people to think, you don't need to take actions like, oh, this news is wrong, I'm going to strike it to say like they are saying the wrong thing, but already to know what to take as your frame of reference and what not. That's the one that I want to help. Why is it important? Is just because every content that we consume, especially now with the world of digitalization, every content that we consume, if you watch some movies from certain region, if they display how the operation is done, for example, in Africa, it's against this kind of activity. If it's done in Middle East, it's against this kind of activity. If it's done in for example, Europe, it's against this kind of activity. If it's done in Colombia, Mexico, Latin America, it's against this. So even the content that we're already consuming is already somewhat biased towards the audience. Whoever is the producer, whoever is preparing that one, is already having a picture of what they want to display. And that one, most of the cases, is not the general truth. And if people think independently, then they will be able to know what's right and what's wrong. And that will be the starting point on making the right decisions on how to improve themselves, on how to improve the society, on how to improve the image of their countries, the continents, and so forth. And also to understand that, okay, at the end of the day, maybe the systems were made not for you. I'm sorry, now I'm going back, because you asked about Tanzania or Africa. I know a bit of that. So when I'm explaining, I'm also focusing on my previous experience, is that if countries came from colonization, even when those colonies left, they had already implemented a certain system in those countries that was working for them. So even if they left, they say that you're free, but if the system is still working for them,
it's no longer free.
It's no longer free. And now if you teach people to think objectively, like, does it serve the general good? Is it so as it looks? Then people can start analyzing things. And when you start analyzing things and to bring changes, and maybe you can even have better societies in the future. It's very hard. I cannot even become a politician one day. I cannot become, I don't know, maybe one day, one time. But the thing is that you cannot change all these things at once. You will change small society, small people, group of people at the university. You'll help them. They'll help their family. Those family, then they'll have ripple effect. So you change one person, that person goes change a couple of people that they are related to. Those, they'll change others. And in long run, it will help to enhance whatever is already happening. So I will change education system. I'm a very good advocate for continuous learning, for proper education, for proper mindset, open mindset, meaning like, okay, it's not only this way, it could also be otherwise, but also based on facts. And also, does it serve the general society? Does it serve for better and positive impact to people and to the humankind? That's what I advocate the most.